and a dinner to follow at 5:30. This is where I'm supposed to say a sermon, but this is kind of new to me. How I got to be here is kind of a funny story. I don't know, maybe about a year ago, I said something to Alice. I know you're engaged. When are you going to get married? Have you set a date yet? And her response was something like, well, you know, I got school, and Luke's got this, and then there's this, I got to get a venue, and we got to get creed. It's just too much to do. Can't get it done. And I explained to her how my wife and I, when we got married over 41 years ago, I took a job in Madison, and in a matter of 2 weeks, because she said, get this, I'm not going to let you move to Madison without me, with all them co-eds down there. And within 2 weeks, we had a venue, we had everything set up, we had a small little ceremony, and we were married and we've lasted 41 years. So Alice thought that was pretty cool, and she started working on it after that. Also some advice, primarily to Luke, because I'm familiar with your role. First off, make sure you have a very comfortable couch. One that you can sleep in. Because you probably will. Trust me. But then again, we all know about the makeup part of that too. I say this PG, we'll stop with it right there. Also, and I know you guys are starting off on a shoestring. My wife and I started off on a shoestring. We moved down here. Like I said, and we got married on April 1st. On April 2nd, we loaded the truck, moved down here. April 4th, I started a new job at about minimum wage. And that was it. There was no other income. However, every month for the first year, there was a florist not far from where I worked, and I went and bought a single rose for every month. And on our 1 year anniversary, I think there was still a Woolworths, and they had plants 3 for $1. House plants. So I went and bought 3 house plants for $1. And I brought them home to my wife and said, happy anniversary. One of those plants is Schiflera. If anybody knows what that is, it started off about that big. And when we finally threw it out, it was about this big. It was a tree. But anyway, she kept it for all those years from our first anniversary. And kind of cherished it over all those years. So it doesn't have to be a lot. A single rose. 3 for $1 plants. Whatever it is, just make sure you remember it, right? Okay. Now, we have the exchanging of vows. Who's going to go first? You're going first?
Scissors. I'm sorry, I couldn't remember it. Good spot. Okay. I tried to memorize them, but I had a lot going on. 10 years ago, I could have never imagined we would be here today. This used to be just a fantasy. Now it's real. I remember that rainy day at the bus stop when we were 18 years ago, and hoping that we could love each other that way forever. We've both strayed on different paths for many years since then, but we found our way back to each other. We've gone through so much and conquered all that life has thrown at us since then, since we've been back together. And you've made me a better person and mended the wounds from my past. I've never stopped loving you after all these years, and I promise to love you more every day, even if you spend all your time in a dungeon. I promise to be faithful, loyal, honest, and understanding as long as we both shall live.
I'm not a memorization person, so this is definitely happening. So Alice, do you remember 6th grade? Because I sure do. It was the day that I saw you for the very first time, and for 3 years after that, I chased you around and told you that you were going to be mine one day. 8th grade summer came, and well, I got my wish. I finally got to date you. At that time, we were too young though. We went our separate ways for almost a decade. Being as young as we were, it just kind of ended up that way. But in the end, we didn't really know where it was going to go, and we could have never known that it was going to be here. So I have a truth. The night that I completely fell in love with you was the night that I held you in my arms and you were crying because of something that someone else had put you through. And it ignited a fire inside of me that I didn't know I had, that apparently had been burning for years, and I just was searching for someone to reignite it again, and it was you. So Alice, from this moment on, I give you my heart and soul. There's nothing more that I could give you. It's forever yours, through the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything in between. From the moment that we've been back together, our lives have been just improving every second since then. I've never been in a better spot, emotionally, physically, financially, everything in my life than the moments after I told you I loved you again. So now, I can't wait to see where the rest of our lives take us.
Okay, do you, Luke Gary, take this woman, Alice Panos, to be your lawfully wedded wife?
I do.
Do you, Alice Panos, take this man, Luke Gary, to be your lawfully wedded husband?
I do.
Could we have the rings?
With this ring, have you wed. And it fits.
With this ring, I be wed. That one fits.
By the power vested in me by the UniversalLifeChurch.com and the state of Wisconsin, I now pronounce you man and wife. You may now kiss the bride. I now present to you Mr. and Mrs. Luke Gary.
I know. It's okay, buddy. Sing song, just walk in. Yeah, me
I'm sorry.